I just finished my first Tia Williams read, 7 Days in June. I was actually gifted this book about a month ago, and I'm so glad that I finally read Tia Williams. This book was just thoroughly impressive, astounding. The writing, the completeness of the story, the characters, it touched on so many themes. And this is what I say, this is what I mean when I say a romance book that is more than a romance. It isn't shallow, it is deep. It's going to take you through emotions. You're going to feel some empathy for the characters. My name is Darnaya, Darice, first name, middle name. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining and stopping by today, okay? And for my book friends who've been friends, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you all. Now listen, I am again rearranging all my books because I've accumulated so much, but I've been reading some great books, and like I said, Tia Williams, if you haven't read this, male, female, any and everybody, please read this book. This book is so good. It's so deep. It follows two people here, even Mercy and Shane Hall. They start off as high schoolers. They're high school sweethearts, but they are what you label misfits. They have a lot going on at home. Eva's dealing with a disability that, you know, causes her to get extreme headaches, and she gets almost in a sense where she can't do anything. She's in so much pain. But she also is dealing with a single mom, a mom who is constantly dating men and going to live with these men and doing things for these men in order to survive. And then you have Shane, who has no one. He was in foster care, lost his foster care parents, and now he's in a place where it's okay, these kids weren't picked, they're not going to get a home, and so we're going to group them in a group home, if you will. And he is one who hurts himself. He does things to himself in order to feel pain and to numb the pain, and they both are dealing with that. It is so many themes here, and it travels. The book travels. You get the journey. You get a complete backstory and front story with them. It travels to talk about how they eventually both became authors and wrote astounding books that are very highly reviewed and provided feedback by critics. They have their own fan base, and then they make their way eventually back to each other. But it's so much going on in this book. I love that you get, once in a while, you get a viewpoint. It's written in narration, so it's not in first person point of view, but I love that you get the insight or point of views from other characters that are next to them. And ironically, they both have the same it's like the same agent named Cece, and you kind of get an insight to her point of view of the outside looking in. And no one knows that these two were high school sweethearts or are high school sweethearts or know each other because it's been 15 years. I'm telling you, read this book. It's so deep. It's so great. I love that the daughter in this book, Eva has a daughter because she's divorced, and her daughter is this 7th grader who has her own insight and intellectual prowess. She's very aware of what's going on. I love that Tia highlights in this book, and I have some tabs in here, but in this book, I love that Tia describes the daughter and showcases the daughter as someone who doesn't need to be lied to. Because, you know, a lot of times you're kind of shielding you get this inclination as a parent to shield your children from your hurt or your sadness or the struggles of life or the greatness of life. You only want them to see the good because you want the best for them. You don't want your children to go through what you've been through. You don't want your children to necessarily experience the harshness of what life can bring throughout your journey. But I love that her daughter pays attention. The daughter is aware, and at some point in the book, the daughter lets the mom know, hey mom, I know you tried to shield this from me. I know you made up this story for it to look one way, but I want you to know that I see you. Now, this is the words that I'm rephrasing because I don't want to say her words because I want you to read the book. But she's like, I see you and it's okay. I want you to be happy. I want you and this, you know, Shane to work out. And she's really, the daughter is just, she's amazing in her own right. And so I love that she's Tia's tackling that issue or that concern where, hey, your children are watching you. Your children are not dumb, okay? Don't minimize their experience. Don't minimize who they are. Don't minimize their thought process, their critical thinking. It's okay to be honest because you want them to build that honesty muscle and to live in their authentic self and be able to be okay with making mistakes and getting it wrong, getting it right, trial and error, because that is the way of life. And so I also love my favorite chapter in this book was chapter 6. It's a chapter called Which Trumps Monster. And this was my favorite chapter because you get the glimpse of all the authors. It's a book about writers and ultimately, and I love it because she does it so well. And in chapter 6 you get a panel of the writers, and Eva is on the panel and Shane pops up, and she hasn't seen Shane in about 15 years, and they pop up and have this discussion about the books. And the discussion was centered around how kind of the qualms that Black writers have to deal with mainstream, and so much. I'm telling you, read that. Go back to that chapter. If you read this book, let me know what was your favorite chapter in this book, because chapter 6, when they were on the panel and describing their books, and they're each going through different reactions to the conversation, is so well written, so good. I also love that a moment in this book, Tia highlights an issue with animals, or she points something out. I don't know if you caught it if you read this book, but there was a thing where the daughter's friend from school wanted to go camping, and the daughter pointed out, the mother and the daughter pointed out, hey, that is a little bit arrogant. Why would you want to camp? Camping is a little weird. You're going into somebody else's space, the animals that live their space, and say, oh, I want to live here. I want to experience this on vacation here for about 7 days. I'm going to interrupt, invade, intrude in your space for a little bit, but you're going to be okay with it because you just an animal. You just an insect. You ain't got nothing to worry about, right? And they point out, hey, what if a bear come and do that? Like a bear bust into your home and say, oh, I want to experience, I'm on vacation, I want to see what it's like living here for 7 days. And I thought that was so witty, so beautiful. And so the complexity of the writing is just great here. This is what you call a full book, a full story that you want to keep going. Now, I took about 5 days to read this book because I've been working overtime, have a lot to do, but I wanted to enjoy this book. I did not rush through this book. That's how you know a book is good, right? When you don't have to rush through the book, you want to take your time. You don't mind that it's not over yet. And I'm on the deadline. I'm trying to meet my goal. I still have 3 books that I'm planning to read by there before August come, which August 1st is my birthday, by the way, next Friday. Hey. But you know, this was a 5-star read for me. If I could give it 6 stars, I would. It is neck and neck with Razor Blade Tears. If you watch my other videos, you know Razor Blade Tears is my top book of the year so far. This 7 Days in June by Tia Williams is right up there. I mean, Tia, she's an auto buy for me. The next book that I plan to read. Y'all got too many books. All these books you see up here, these are on my TBR. These are all new books. These books I've read and I gotta reorganize again because I'm adding stuff. But the next book I'm gonna read, I'm gonna go straight into Tia's new book. This came out this year. Audrey and Bash Are Just Friends. If you read this already, let me know. But this book is supposed to be about her daughter. Her daughter name is Audrey, and Audrey was just amazing. I love how she was portrayed in this book, and it just goes to show that the work you put in is worth it. When you're working hard to be your best self, you're showing your kids to do the same. Now this ending, I'm like, no, I want the ending. Okay, when you get to the end, let me know how you felt about the ending, because I'm like, oh no. Okay, the only thing I haven't read yet in this is the epilogue, and so I'm gonna read this epilogue after I finish taping this video. But it's our wedding anniversary, so we're gonna be doing a few things today, and so, but I'm just y'all go read this book. But that's all I have for you today. I had to jump on and just give my thoughts on this book. I want to go more in depth, but I don't want to spoil it for you. But at any rate, check out, stay tuned, because I will be putting out my my August TBR and my June wrap up video soon. So stay tuned for that. But in between time, in the meantime, always remember to keep rising.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away.